It is time to drop our sacks and touch our bags here on this special mailbag edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. You got questions, you're in luck. I got answers. They come from our Wednesday live show that we do where you guys submit questions to us using the hashtag Seahawks or super chatting. We react to them in real time. And you never know when we might have a special live show. Like Tuesday night, I kid you not, I was at 7-Eleven. I was buying some Zins, and I got alerted that Connor Williams was joining the Seattle Seahawks. I was literally just about to go home, and I messaged our team on Slack, and I said, we got to go live right now. So I got back in my car, and we hustled right back to the studio, and we went live to react to Connor Williams heading the Seahawks. So make sure you join the Noti Gang. Turn on your notifications. That way you know when we go live, when we have new content. And we got you covered here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Join the Noti Game now. Let's start off with a $2 super chat from Ian. He wants to know, think Haynes will be our starter week one? Ian, great question. And I know Smitty disagrees with me on this. He says it's going to be Bradford. I think it will be Christian Haynes. I think Christian Haynes is a better talent than Anthony Bradford. Anthony Bradford didn't show me a lot last year. This coaching staff owes no loyalties to him. Haynes is their guy. I think Haynes starts at the right guard spot, but we still got a few more weeks to figure this out. Let's see how it all plays out. I'm not rooting for anybody. I just want the best man to win and the Seahawks to feel comfortable at that spot. Seth with a $50 super chat. Bang! Says, hashtag Seahawks, should we expect a lot of rotation through the preseason games or majority starters in the games? I'd expect mostly the backups, the second-team guys, and third-team guys to get the playing time. I don't think you're going to see a ton of the starters over the next couple of weeks, if you will. The NFL preseason, since they switched to 3 games, the format has kind of changed. These teams are playing their starters less and less. I think you'll see the younger guys that are competing to be starters, like the Byron Murphys of the world. Those guys will get significant playing time, but your DK Metcalfs of the world, your Devin Witherspoons and Reek Woolens, I don't think they'll play a ton. Thanks, Seth, for that super chat. Tony Hawk writes in, how has DK Metcalf looked so far in training camp? Tony, great question. Thanks for sending that in. DK's looked great. Got in a fight the other day, so hopefully DK doesn't bring that to the football field and continue to do his thing, as we've seen him being a little too chippy when it comes to getting those personal foul penalties and all that. But DK's looked great. He has been taking advantage of the one-on-one matchups. He's going up against the best of the best every day, facing, whether it's Reek or Devin or Julian Love. DK looks the part, and I think he's on pace to have one of, if not the best seasons of his entire career to this point. I think you're going to like what you see from DK Metcalf. As long as he stays healthy, you'll look at this offense and the way that this thing is shaping up of what the Seahawks have in mind with this offense here. It's going to be right up DK Metcalf's alley. It is going to put him in a position to succeed where DK can go off and he can thrive. And with the way the Seahawks want to spread you out and the way that they have multiple receivers to work with here, you can't just focus in on DK. You got to look at multiple guys, and I think DK is going to take advantage of that and be fantastic this year. Jack Daniels, I love me some Jack Daniels, writes in, how healthy is Connor Williams, and what kind of impact will he have right away on the Seattle Seahawks? Jack, great question there. What we've been told from Drew Rosenhaus is that Connor Williams should be ready to go week one, that he is fully healthy and ready to go, despite tearing his ACL in week 14 of last season. The expectation is that he'll start at the center spot right away for Seattle and that he should get involved in training camp. And you look at the numbers of what he's done over the last couple of seasons here. This is a guy that last year was the best interior offensive lineman in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus, with the highest grade of an 86.5. He could play center. He could play guard. He could do it all. I think this totally changes the outlook on this Seahawks offensive line completely. What was a big weakness, all of a sudden you're feeling a lot better. You can breathe a bit with this offensive line with having Connor Williams there leading the way. And Olu's still involved. I think he's going to help in the maturation process of Anthony Bradford and Christian Haynes to help them come along. I think it's a great move by Seattle, and I expect him to be ready to go right away. Great signing of Connor Williams. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F? He passes physical, so the Seahawks must like what they see. What do you think? Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section. Steve the Ref chiming in. That Trace Gerard's dad? I love Steve. Great guy. Why is Byron Murphy not starting? So this isn't as complicated as you may think, folks, when it comes to this Byron Murphy situation. The depth chart that came out a couple days ago, Byron Murphy was listed as the backup defensive end behind Jaron Reed. And Jonathan Hankins shocked everybody at the starting nose tackle spot. What I look at this as is just a situation where they're not just handing Byron Murphy everything, right? We've seen the constant theme throughout this offseason from Mike Macdonald. He has been kind of a hard ass to Byron Murphy. Told him from the first day he walked in at rookie minicamp, he wasn't in football shape, that he needed to hit the weight room a bit. And at the start of training camp, we heard Mike Macdonald say, well, he doesn't look quite right without pads on. We expect him to play better when we get the pads on. And now he's starting to put it together and starting to look the part here. So it's just a matter of earning it. I think he will. I think he will start when week one gets here. But it's just a matter of keeping him on his toes, continue to push him hard, humble him a little bit. That's what's going on here. Not much more to read into that. Byron Murphy's going to be great, but they're going to push him as hard as they can, try to get the most out of him. Will Byron Murphy start week one? Do you agree with me? Or do you disagree? Type Y for yes and for no. Let us know if you think Byron Murphy is starting week one or not. Speaking of Byron Murphy, we got his jerseys on sale now. Chatsports.com/Murphys where you can get these today. He'll wear the number 91, so just added 9 to that one. We got the home option, the road option, the alternate throwback jerseys as well, men's and women's sizes available. Go to chatsports.com/Murphy to get yours today. Free shipping available as well. The link is in the comments and description of today's video, chatsports.com/Murphy. Matthew writes in, how much longer does Geno Smith's experience last? Let's be honest, he's a bridge quarterback. He's not taking us to a Super Bowl. He went 20 touchdowns and 9 picks, and he's going to be 35 next season. Well, he's got a cap hit of $38 million, and basically it comes down to when are the Seahawks going to find a better option? This past draft, all the quarterbacks were gone before they picked there at 16. Literally, the top 5 quarterbacks all got selected before they picked. And then the year prior, they really liked C.J. Stroud. They really liked Anthony Richardson. And both those guys were gone before they picked at 5. Okay? So then you look at this year. Seahawks are not likely to have a high pick. Quarterback class isn't as good as it was last year with Carson Beck, Shedeur Sanders, Quinn Ewers kind of leading the way. So I'm not getting my hopes up about them drafting a quarterback this upcoming year to be the franchise guy. And then you start to think, do they pay the money for Dak? Do they make a trade for Kirk Cousins? I think there's a good chance Geno's the guy next year too. It's until they find a better option. And at this point in time, they don't have a better option. Geno's our guy. Deal with it. Suck it up. Geno, I think, is going to be fine for this year, and you take it year by year and go from there. Brent writes in, if Rick Woolen doesn't have an uptick in form from last year, how long did we give him before looking for new options? Whoa. Hold the phone here, folks. The Seahawks aren't getting rid of Rick Woolen. I know that Rick struggled when it came to tackling last year. No ifs or ands or buts about that. It was a down year for him. But even with that said, he was still numero uno, according to Pro Football Focus, in man coverage of any defensive player in the NFL last year. So you get with the good with the bad. He's got to improve the tackling. No shit. We know that. He will. He's looked great so far this offseason. Mike Macdonald's liked what he's seen from him so far. Give him a chance. He's not going anywhere. Rick Woolen's going to bounce back. I think he gets back to a Pro Bowl level this year. He ain't going anywhere. Slow down. Last question. Beta YT writes in, how do you think K9 will perform behind this new offensive line? Ooh, I'm excited, folks. I am very excited. K9 had over 900 yards last year, 1,000 yards the year prior, behind some just awful offensive lines. Now you got a legit center in Connor Williams. Hopefully, if Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas healthy, Laken Tomlinson should be an upgrade. And then either Bradford or Haynes at the right guard spot. If K9 stays healthy, 1,000 yards should be the minimum. All right? We should be talking about Kenneth Walker being a Pro Bowl caliber back. And if he can't get the job done, there's a guy behind him that's waiting in the wings, and Zach Charbonnet, that would just relish at the opportunity if K9 can't figure it out. I think you got two good backs. I think you got a good thing going on. I expect them both to be well. Going to be a big year for Kenneth Walker. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications to stay up to date what's happening with your favorite team. We're going to be live on Saturday night for our Seahawks Chargers preseason Week 1 watch party. We will see you then. Subscribe now for free. Thanks for joining us.